James Melendez, James the Wine Guy, here to share and celebrate wines from Okanagan Valley, British Columbia, Canada. It's a fantastic region, and originally this video was going to be titled Canadian Wines minus Ice Wine. And then I realized, boy, there's just too many, it's a huge subject matter. I can't talk about this huge category and make it a shorter video. It'd be 30 minutes long, and I think really what I'm talking about here is Okanagan Valley because I was just there. And I had all these suite of wines, and then I thought, even before that, I was wanting to be in Okanagan Valley so badly, I thought I'd have to be there, I'd want to be there. And ultimately, as I like to think about this in terms of how Martin Scorsese says about living in New York City, the neighborhood chooses you, not the other way around. So this subject matter chose me in a very comfortable way, in a very logical way, and something I think is a fantastic experience. Now, the Okanagan wine story is really interesting. It's about New World New, New World Old. So when you think about this region, you think about this in terms of 1859 is its roots. It is planted with Vitis labrusca by a French Catholic priest by the name of Charles Pandosy. So you have, a lot of labrusca. You have hybrid grapes planted in the region, and there's a bump in the road, which is Canadian Prohibition, which is much shorter than the U.S. Prohibition. And then you have a hybrid grape history, which is a really large portion in terms of Okanagan Valley. You do have some really insightful people who plant Vitis vinifera along the way, Riesling, and you have Ehrenfelser, and you have Pinot Noir, and so forth. But I think it's a really great story because it's a great climate, first of all. A lot of people, and my subject matter was thinking of, I don't want to talk about just ice wine. That's its own video. I want to talk about dry wines because the world really clamors for this and desires Canadian ice wines as they should. But before it's Canadian ice wine, before it's ice wine, it is a dry wine. So we'll talk about this in another video. It's a really cool bottle here. It's 50 milliliters. It is Lemberger, which is Blaufränkisch. And so that's its own subject matter. It'll have its own video. Now, when you think of this valley, it's about 113 kilometers or 70 miles of Okanagan Lake and neighboring lakes. And this really serves a great purpose. It's serving the purpose of having, moderate temperature, so it's not going to be too cool, and it's not going to be too hot either. And I think it's a really appropriate thing. So north of 170 wineries in this region. You have 4,000 hectares or 9,900 acres. And so you have, maybe in the mid-70s, you have a lot of people thinking about Vitis vinifera. And the Osoyoos Indian band plants Vitis vinifera, and they have a label called Incomete. You have other plantings occurring along the way, and you still have a lot of hybrid. So the hybrid are taken out in about 1988 when NAFTA is going to be signed, which is, guess what? We don't think that the hybrid grapes here are going to be sought after as well as Vitis vinifera will be. And that was a really pivotal moment in winemaking history in the Okanagan Valley. You have great varieties, great variation. You have everything from Merlot, Cabernet Sauvignon, Pinot Noir, Pinot Gris, Chardonnay, Auxerrois Blanc. You have Riesling, Gewürztraminer. You have Sangiovese, Syrah, Tempranillo, and Zinfandel. So a little bit of everything in this region. And I'll show you in a moment on a map what this lays out in terms of the land, north to south. And great examples here. So I just want to show you some of the landscapes that you see here. And I'll bring this a little closer so you can see the highlights. So you'll see here, this is the Penticton area. This is a middle area of Okanagan Valley. And then you have the very northerly portion near Kelowna. And this is on the Cedar Creek Winery, or Cedar Creek Estate, rather. And so you have, this is the Oliver region, and that's Road 13, excuse me. And again, the beautiful deserty landscape of Oliver Osoyoos. And this region is very interesting because the northern Sonoran Desert goes up to this region, and it is fantastically beautiful. And me, desert boy, is very familiar with this region. It is something that is very familiar, looks familiar to me, and is something that is just so friendly. And then I see the lake, and I think of this region in terms of this wine. Actually, let me just show you the map here as well while I'm at it. So what you see here is this northerly region, and this northerly region is going to plant a lot of Pinot Noir, Chardonnay, you're going to have Riesling, and then the southerly region, you're going to have the Bordeaux varieties, Rhone varieties, and Italian and a few Iberian varieties here as well. So warmer temperatures in the south, and great climate that is moderated and produces fantastic Vitis vinifera. So in this glass, I have Gamay Noir. Here is friends of mine. This is 7 Directions Pinot Noir of Rosé, or Rosé of Pinot Noir. You have Tantalus Riesling, another friend of mine. This is Cabernet Franc from Tinhorn Creek, Sandra Oldfield, which I do have a rock from her site. She did give it to me. I didn't take it. But for me, it's a really great way of meeting so many wonderful people and talented winemakers. So I really want to show and highlight what else I have here. This is Fairview, which I didn't get to visit, but I look forward to this wine. It's really something I've had some great recommendations on. Cabernet Franc, Cabernet Sauvignon, and Merlot. And really look forward to this. This will be fun. So here's the wine variety I'm really excited about, Ehrenfelser. So this is a cross between Silvaner and Riesling. So there's about 600 acres or 290 hectares in the world, only in Canada and Germany. So that'll be fun to taste. And then another Tinhorn. This is Merlot, which I look forward to tasting as well. And Haywire. So this is the Gamay Noir. Fantastic, beautiful wine. I have reviewed their Rosé Gamay, Rosé of Gamay Noir. So we'll talk about this wine in its own video. And then I have Stoneboat Pinot Noir, which I'm excited about. And I've tasted some very lyrical Pinot Noir from this region as well. So, you know, I'll talk about Ontario in its own video. I'll talk about other Canadian regions as well. But this is something to think about. So two things. One, if you find an opportunity to have a dry wine from Canada, from Okanagan Valley, I definitely recommend that. And two, when you are in Canada, if you're in Vancouver, it's a really easy way, probably just a 15-minute plane ride away from Vancouver east. And it's a great visit. Some amazing food to be tasted there. Some great local products that, you know, I went to the farmer's market and tasted through some amazing foods and really enjoyed this experience. So I'm going to talk about each of these wines, and I will be back. I'm excited to go back and share once again what I learned from this region. For more wine reviews, jamesthewineguy.com. Subscribe to my videos on YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, Vimeo, Google+, Pinterest. Salud.